there, everyone. I hope that you're all doing well. I need to begin by apologizing profusely for not doing my normal Monday week ahead reading. It's been a little bit hectic. I have been terribly busy, but things are sorting themselves out, and I know a lot of people have been going through some really difficult times with the retrograde and whatever coming out of that, and the energy is really not entirely settled yet. So, yes, that's very, very interesting at the moment. All right, so tonight we are in the new moon in Sagittarius, and I want to talk about Sagittarius a little bit while I get ready. I'm going to be using these cards, but I need to just use some of them. So, while I'm chatting about that, I want to talk about the general energy of Sagittarius. The general energy of Sagittarius is very much out there, okay? It's about expressing ourselves, it's about being direct, being blunt sometimes, all right? So it's the characteristics are generally quite like charismatic, highly strung, high energy, but at the same time very instinctive. So it's almost like there's kind of very um what shall I call it? It's almost primal in the way that we express ourselves and say certain things, all right? So like I say, being blunt but instinctive at the same time, like maybe not even expecting that you're going to say certain things, or you feel like you just got to that point where it's like, at boiling point now and you need to express yourself. So it's about being that blunt, direct kind of person, saying the things you need to say, feeling a little bit stressed and highly strung, a little bit on edge, but being outspoken, saying the things you need to say, expressing yourself. They also generally, Sagittarians are quite progressive. They're future orientated people, which is really what we should be focusing on now. I've been talking about it for months, saying we need to live in the moment and look towards our future. We are not here to live in the past. So this is something we really need to focus on right now and be future orientated, be progressive and proactive. Also, sometimes this kind of energy can mean that we're getting bored. We're getting bored of something. Maybe we're getting bored of the status quo, and that's why we feel like we need to say something. Maybe we're getting bored of what we've done, or we feel like we're at some place that is really, sort of stagnation. Maybe we need to get rid of certain things that no longer serve us. Like I've been saying, I'm sure you guys are so sick of me saying that, but it really is. This is a process that we've been going through for a long time now. We really need to keep getting rid of stuff, getting rid of stuff, getting rid of stuff. I read a thing the other day in one of my books that says you need to get rid of everything that is imperfect. And by doing that, you will eventually only be left with what is perfect. And that is quite important to remember and to take heed of. That if we have that systematic removal of little obstacles all the time, we're eventually going to end up in a place where we are, in a really positive kind of frame of mind, a positive energy. All of that is just going to shift everything for us. So that is very, very important to remember as well. So the kind of people who are Sagittarians, to give you a little bit of a you know idea of what kind of person you're looking at, to really get into the mindset of what the energy is like. They're usually very sporty or athletic kind of people, very sportive. They also like to get involved in politics because they are future thinking. They like to set um, standards and set precedents for certain things, and they are progressive, like I said. Pilots and instructors, people who like to instruct others or train others. They're also very philosophical kind of people. Um, Professional students, people who really like to study and study and study of it often, and people who like to invent things because they're forward thinkers. They're trying to develop things for the future. And people who write music and are creative and bring things into the world are often Sagittarian. So it's that kind of thing where there's a lot of inventory and analysis and philosophical thinking and bridging the gap between like spiritual and work related ideas, and they like to talk and be involved in activities, and there's this constant desire for expansion. It's also a highly sexual energy. Okay, Sagittarius is quite sexually um attractive, or is based on sexual attraction. They have that kind of intense energy, and they are generally just sexual kind of people. So if that's coming up, anything to do with that in your life at the moment, know that it is very possibly this kind of energy. Or if you are maybe even, moving towards the end of a relationship like this, or anything to do with that, and you feel like, this kind of sexual energy that you're experiencing at the moment is unusual for you, then maybe it's got something to do with the Sagittarian energy. All right. So I think that that's about all I wanted to talk about with regards to that today. And I'm just quickly having a look here at what I want to incorporate. All right. So I'm going to ask, using my past life oracle cards, what we should be focusing on, or what the energies are. I mean, I've spoken a little bit about Sagittarius now and Sagittarians, but remember, I just give you sort of the traits of a Sagittarian in order to give you an idea of what kind of energy we're dealing with. All right, so bear that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to use just some of these cards tonight just to say, what areas are coming into focus this evening. So let's just give them a little shuffle. There's only a very few of them here, but we'll do it anyway. It is necessary. Okay, I'm going to say, can we have 3 that should really be a focus for us now, or we should just be quite aware of at the moment? Please, can we have 3 that talk about the Sagittarian new moon? 3 areas or energies that we need to focus on or be aware of. This one really feels like it wants to come out. I'm going to take it. Number 2. Just make sure that's only one. Yep. And one last one, please. This is going to be a bit of a different reading tonight. I've decided I'm not going to do the energies going out and energies coming in. Maybe I'll do a bit of that. But I've decided to talk about whatever comes up here individually and just see what we get. Okay, let's do something different. One last one, please. Okay, I think that's it. Perfect, thank you. Okay, so what we have is health. All right, some of you may be focused on your health right now. Maybe you've just started a new gym membership or health regime or eating plan, something to that effect. Maybe you need to look after your health better. I'm seeing this happen within my own family, actually. Maybe you need to go and have a checkup if you're not feeling too well, but make sure that you are in good health. If you are already in good health but you feel like you could do better, then maybe you should be eating more healthfully. Maybe you want to start doing some kind of exercise. Maybe there's someone in your family that you need to pay attention to because their health is not at its best and you need to go and see them, whatever the case is. But this is a big focus at the moment, all right? I want to draw attention to some, maybe it's a collective, I don't really think so, but I think there's a couple of people watching. If you are pregnant, go and get it checked out, okay? Make sure that you're healthy, just check everything, check your sugar levels, whatever. Or maybe you are not eating very healthfully because you're eating for 2 and you've got weird cravings. But just make sure that you keep this in balance and that you're actually putting good stuff into your body so that your baby's getting all the right stuff. All right. What else? Yeah, this is for focusing on bettering ourselves physically, and this does incorporate your spirituality as well. All right, so maybe you're really, some of you changing your diets, maybe you're becoming a vegetarian, maybe you are, you know, just eating better than you should, than you have been, maybe incorporating things into your diet that are better for you than other things, whatever the case is here. But this is about changing things so that you are healthier in the future. I think a lot of people are on this page and are sort of aware of looking after themselves, going to have, you know, a checkup, or de-stressing, going for maybe a Reiki session, acupuncture, whatever, but maybe you haven't done it in a long time and you knew that it was due, or something's nagging at you and you think maybe I should. This is saying yes, you should. Okay, just go and make sure that you're being good to yourself. All right. Yeah, let's do that. And then the other one is leaving and travel. We'll get to that just now. Just now in my language means in a bit. Okay, and then we have trust and faith. But I'm going to work on them one at a time. I'm going to ask more about the health one first. I'm just trying to decide what to use. Let's use my Earth Magic, which are always the Old Faithfuls, but they're really lovely, and it's a nice deck because it has a lot of cards in it, so it gives us a lot of variety and options. I just want to see what else we need to know about this health situation, please. Oh, not doing very well today. Okay. What else do we need to know about this health card, please? Sagittarius, what else do we need to know about our health, or this around the health situation? I'm only going to take 3 cards maximum. Okay. Okay, first one is lotus flower. The second one is clouds or shape shifting. Sorry, this was unfoldment. Alright. Which a lot of us have been working on. And this is ceremony, which is invocation. We had this the last time as well. There's some that repeat themselves. And I know I use these cards often, but they don't always come up just for the sake of coming up. You know, that's not how this works. So there's obviously an important message here. I think that this is very much to do with people working on themselves, developing themselves, showing more self-love, getting into these different kind of new health patterns and stuff, and becoming who they want to be and projecting that into their future. Who do I want to be opposed to who I was? Am I going to go on a weight loss program? Am I going to take the tests that I need to take? And am I going to look after my whatever health issue I have so that I don't have a health issue anymore? Am I going to meditate and work on healing myself from within through healing my mindset? All of those kind of things. Maybe you work on meditation. Some of you are working with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, which I'm aware of, and that is really, really lovely. That is really getting to the heart of it and sorting everything out from the inside. If you haven't heard of him or you haven't watched one of his videos, please look up Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's absolutely incredible, and especially as far as health is concerned and healing yourself. And I feel as if this is some people that have gone through a couple of health struggles that are possibly overcoming them now. actually beginning to live because they're feeling a bit healthier. Maybe some people are going to be, I feel as if there are things hidden, and I want to say that because of the shape shifting as well. Clouds. I want to talk about all of this actually because I feel as if there's some people who. This is why I feel the need to say about the tests and stuff. There's some people who don't know what's wrong with them. Okay, and I don't like to say that anything is wrong with you or to put something into people's heads, but there's certain things here. There's something that somebody's not aware of that they need to sort out or reveal, or perhaps someone is going to reveal that they're not well and they need to work on it. Maybe we just need to own up to it if we're in denial about our health. But I also feel at the same time there is some kind of a gift of healing that's coming in here in this energy. I think it's also mental and physical as well. Us changing and morphing into something shape shifting, but there's definitely, I feel like something is being given here, maybe information, or maybe it is that something in some cases is going to be revealed that's going to solve a health problem. So maybe you've been struggling with your health and struggling to find out what the cause actually is, and something's going to come to light in this regard. Okay, I think that is very true for some of you. You're going to finally get to the bottom of why you don't feel so well or something to that effect, and you're going to be able to sort it out. Okay, this is interesting because health has come up before lately, and I feel that some kind of prayer or ritual or setting an intention for this can really help. And setting an intention doesn't mean you have to light a candle and say prayer and burn incense and all of that kind of thing, but it can just be, I've been maybe putting off going to the doctor for too long and I know that I need to sort it out. And maybe when I go for that one blood test or whatever it is, they say, oh, now we figured out what it is. All you need to do is change your diet and eat more green leafy vegetables, whatever. And it can actually just be that simple. So maybe you need to just pray for that guidance, pray for the right doctor to come along, pray for them to do the right tests, whatever your religious or spiritual persuasion is. But maybe there's certain things you need to look out for. Maybe you are having mood swings and it's a hormonal thing or whatever, and you think you're just going crazy. Go have it checked out and just look after yourselves. All right, whether you go to traditional, what is termed as Western doctors, or you go to traditional healers, like I said, acupuncturists, chiropractor, whatever you need to do. If it's long overdue, do it. Show yourself that respect, show yourself that love. Okay. Let's move on to leaving and travel. Okay. I do feel like there's a lot of this going on. Sorry, 1 second. I feel as if there are people, this is leaving and travel in many different ways, shapes, and forms, all right? I feel as if there are people leaving certain jobs, leaving relationships, having to travel for work, having to travel to keep a relationship, or having long distance relationships. And I also feel that these are people that are maybe immigrating or really moving and traveling for whatever reason. Okay, this is coming up now. And I think that maybe if you're traveling for business, maybe you could really have a very beneficial business excursion, or what is the word I want to use? A successful business trip, basically. So if you've been traveling for business, I think that there's some good stuff that can come out of this. I also think that if you are moving away or leaving and you're doing this for a fresh start or to get rid of a negative condition, I think that's a really good thing. And I need to tell you that, you know, you need to sometimes do something that seems a little bit frightening or do a hard thing for you to really move on and actually shift all the energy and the stagnation that is around you and move into something else. And that is moving into the unknown, which is always frightening, but it can really, really be beneficial. It can be life-changing in very positive ways. I put something up on Instagram and Facebook the other day that said, what did I say exactly? But it was something to the effect of comfort zones are just stagnation in disguise. I think that's what I said. It was something I came up with one morning, and I thought, okay, let me just put that out there, because it really is. We get into a comfort zone where we don't want to leave, we don't want to move, whether this is figuratively or literally, all right? We get into a comfort zone, we're too afraid to step into the unknown because that's scary. But sometimes when we do that, and if we reflect as well on when we've done it in the past, those are sometimes some of the best times of our lives, or where we've learned the most important lessons, even if they weren't maybe the best experiences. We may have learned really important lessons that have been really beneficial to us in our lives. All right. And this is, this is always a very emotional thing, which is completely understandable. But that's where growth comes from. That's how we grow and we learn. All right, let's see what the Earth Magic Oracle has to say about this. Just give it a quick shuffle. I feel like the Trust and Faith card as well is going to maybe sort of tie up with this. Okay, can we have a couple of cards, 3 cards to speak more about the leaving and travel in the new moon in Sagittarius, please? What is this about? Oops, okay. I'm going to take that one. Last one, please, for leaving and travel. Okay, so we have vulnerability. How appropriate. When you have to leave or travel to somewhere and you're moving into the unknown, we definitely feel vulnerable. All right, that's quite interesting. Power, lightning, and finally we have nurturing, Gaia. Okay, this is all very interesting. Let me show you Gaia first. Okay, so immediately I get the sense with the vulnerability card that this is exactly what I was just talking about. We sometimes feel vulnerable, or that we're in a place that we're not comfortable with when we have to move into something else. We literally have to leave, travel, or move. Okay, I said this could be figuratively or literally, and this is about going into the unknown, going into this vast, wide open space, not knowing what's ahead of you, but also allowing yourself to expand. This is about expansion, this is about growth, this is about opportunity. This is a very positive card, and it's got sunflowers and all sorts of beautiful things in, and just an open meadow that shows to me that this is really about expansion and freedom to a large extent. So maybe if you have got that like stagnant energy, or you feel like you're a little bit stuck, or you feel like you're bored. Remember I was saying about the Sagittarian energy as well. They feel lackadaisical, or they can sometimes feel bored with the status quo, with whatever's going on, and they feel like maybe there's stagnation. Sagittarius pushes you to say, okay, I'm done with this, I'm over it, like what's next, what's next, what's next, all the time. And that is the kind of adventurous, optimistic kind of energy we need to embody if we want to grow spiritually, emotionally, on all different levels. We need to have that kind of energy where we're always looking for something new. We're looking for a new adventure. We want to move to somewhere new. We want to try something new. We're willing to be vulnerable. in order to get that. We need to do hard things, and just, vulnerability is also very much to do with you feeling emotional. And this is what this is about. We're coming out of Scorpio now as well, which has been very emotional, and we are feeling vulnerable. And this is when we need to decide, okay, are we going to let go and let God, so to speak, and allow the universe to lead us where we need to go? Or are we going to fight it and stay in the stagnant position? Are we going to pick up our bag and go back home? Or are we going to wait for that train and get on it? Are we going to move forward? Are we going to be a little bit vulnerable and see what it can open up for us? Because we must remember not to ever limit ourselves with our limited perception of what the future could hold for us. The universe holds infinite possibilities that we cannot even conceive of or imagine. We don't have the capacity to do that. But if we open ourselves up and we say, okay, show me what you got, often we get a really, really lovely surprise. Okay. So I want to say that for some of you, hearing about this, that you have to move or travel, or that there's some kind of change coming, has come very suddenly, very quickly, and it's drastic. Okay, it's quite intense. For others, I think that it will happen sooner than you think. There's something that it's going to happen that's going to cause an intense shift for you. It may be very tumultuous with regards to emotions and stuff as well, but I feel that you may suddenly get that call. Okay, you got the job, move to wherever, or your immigration's come through, or suddenly you have the money to do what you need to do. There's something like this that's coming through that's going to enable you to do this much more quickly, and is going to give you the power to actually do what you wanted to do, to actually get to that point where you have the ability to move forward and say, okay, wow, this is really happening, like, so it might come as a bit of a surprise. And maybe some of you get caught unawares and your partner walks in and say, hey, I got offered a job in Canada or wherever, Australia, Seattle, wherever you're going. And this comes as a little bit of a surprise, but maybe it's a really good opportunity. And I would encourage that you allow this to happen and you allow this vulnerability, because I feel like this is really positive energy. Okay, this new moon is really positive. It's bringing in new things. We've been through a rough patch. We really have, but this is where things are a bit lifting up a bit, okay? And we're ending the year, the last new moon, and it's bringing new things in. This new year is going to be pretty good. This year's been tough. We can't deny that, but we've had so much growth, and there have been good things coming from it, especially with regards to spiritual growth. We cannot say that we haven't grown in the past year. So I encourage you guys, especially on a new moon, to reflect and to think, wow, how far have I come spiritually, emotionally, in my material world, whatever the case is. But pat yourself on the back for all the crap you've been through and have overcome. All right. That's just a side note. And at the same time, then, I want to say, when you need to travel like this, okay, whether it is emotionally, spiritually, physically, you need to keep yourself grounded. You need to, especially if you're going to be vulnerable and things are going to come as a surprise or happen very quickly, you need to stay grounded. And I feel like this is what the Gaia card is about. Gaia is Earth, the Earth Mother, okay? She is creation. She is showing the infinite possibilities. If you look at this card carefully, I hope that you can see it close enough. You will see that within her hair here, what is supposed to be her hair, there are literally birds, butterflies, dogs, deer, bears, tigers, polar bears, birds, dolphins, ducks, horses, elephants, flowers, all sorts of things here. There's foxes and cats. And she's breathing her creation onto the earth. Can I get it close enough that you guys can see there? Do you see them if you look really carefully? This is showing what I was talking about earlier, about the infinite possibilities of the universe. All of these things are there. All she needs to do is breathe them into your life. This is what creation is about. This is what stepping into the unknown is about. This is what I'm talking about when I say the universe has infinite possibilities that you cannot conceive of. Don't be presumptuous enough to think, I know how it goes. I've done this before. I know what's coming. I can control this. There's no such thing. Okay, we have free will to a certain extent, But also when we are manifesting, when we are wanting to bring new things into our lives, when we ask for things from the universe, expect to get it in a different way than what you asked. And usually in a much better way. It may not come in the way that you've asked, but it will come. And often we get some really great surprises as well, and it's something better than what we thought. Okay, so embrace this vulnerability. Don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. If you need to take it in your stride, if it's come as a surprise or if you have to do something suddenly, know that you have the ability to do it. Have that faith in yourself. Know that you've got the strength and the resolve to do it. And keep yourself grounded. You can, even if you do use crystals, you can use something like carnelian or something like that that can really ground you and just help you through some stuff. All right, maybe you need to really do your meditations and stuff. Make time for it. Even if you're traveling, it's imperative to keep you grounded, to keep things in perspective, and to help you to get through it and handle things. And know that you are supported. This energy exists, okay? This energy exists, and it's there to support you and co-create with you in whatever you're doing. This is about blessings. This is about being nurtured and knowing that you are supported in what you're doing. All right. Okay, so let us look at trust and faith. This is turning out to be a rather interesting reading. I just want to sort these out so that we have enough space here. Because you all know that I'm going to be pulling out my Spirit Oracle just now. So we're going to need a bit of space. All right, trust and faith. Let me just see what I can pick up on this. Immediately I do know that this is talking about the travel, but I think as well, I think these all tie up. This is a message that carries on from the health and the travel. And this is to have trust and faith with regards to any health issues that you have. All right, to know that trust in yourself, trust in your instincts, and trust in your intuition when you feel that something's off with you as well, hey? Very, very important. And have trust and faith, because that is what will get you through. That is what's going to take you to new horizons. That's what's going to get you through vulnerability. That is what's going to help you with all sorts of things. And this trust and faith as well is about connecting and invocation and being in a state of prayer or meditation or whatever you do. And saying, okay, I'm setting my intention, I'm sending that message out, I'm asking, and now I'm going to have trust and faith that it's going to manifest, or that this health issue is going to be resolved, or that everything's going to be okay, or that I can get out of my comfort zone and, improve my health, whatever the case is that you need to do. I have trust and faith that my travels are going to be safe, that I'm doing the right thing, that if I follow my intuition, I know that my higher self will not let me make the wrong decisions and lead me astray and make me make mistakes. Okay, I want to talk about angelic energies as well. I say this to many, many clients of mine, and if you've heard it before, I apologize profusely again, but some people need to hear this, all right? I work quite closely with these kind of energies, and angelic energies are not only associated with Christianity or the Abrahamic faiths. Angels and angelic energies are high vibration energies that are around us all the time. Their purpose here is to help and heal and to assist us. Okay, they do not belong to any religion. They are non-denominational. They may have appeared in certain texts, but they were around long before that, long before we could read and write, long before religion was a thing. And these energies are here to help you, to help and heal. This is their purpose. And they are governed by universal laws, which even human beings fail to respect sometimes. Okay, sometimes we don't respect the simple law of you need to respect someone else's free will. I get people saying to me, but how do I get this person to love me? I don't care if he's involved with somebody else. All of those kind of things. That is interfering with another human being's free will, and that goes against universal law. The angels and angelic energies, high vibration energies, know these laws and they respect them. So, that being said, when you need help with something, you have to ask. A lot of people sit here and they say, oh, but I asked that I need the angels to help me and I don't get any help. And what are you doing? Are you just sitting there and expecting help? Or have you asked? And a lot of the time when I say, well, have you asked? Have you put it out there? Have you put that intention? Have you said, universe, angels, whatever you want to call them, God, whatever your belief system is, have you put it out there? Have you asked? And a lot of the time people will say no. And I'll say, well, they can sit there and helplessly watch you while you are struggling along and plodding, trying to trudge through this mud, but you haven't asked. And they're not going to interfere unless you ask, because that goes against your free will. And the minute people ask and have that faith and that trust that they're going to help them, and not have an expectation of how it's going to come about, and respect the fact that they work in weird and wonderful ways, but you will get your what you ask for, miracles start happening in their lives, literally, and they have really amazing experiences. But you need to ask. You know that old saying, ask, believe, receive? You need to ask. They do not interfere unless you ask them to interfere. And that's how we all should be with each other. We're not here to dictate. We're not here to judge. We are not here to interfere with each other's free will. You need to leave people to do what they need to do. And we can learn from these high vibration energies that they even show us that respect. They even respect that universal law. And at times we disregard it completely. And we disregard the free will of others and we don't consider them. Okay, well, that needed to be said, apparently. There's some channeling I didn't expect. Okay, so trust and faith on your journey and remembering to ask them to help you. Please help me to fix this health issue I have. Help me to have the motivation to get up and exercise. Help me to eat better so that my body can be healthier. Help me to transition in whatever this journey is that I'm going on. Help me to feel okay in my vulnerability and to embrace it and know that this is part of the trust and the faith is the vulnerability. Okay, let's see. What other messages do we have that go along with the trust and faith, please, for the new moon in Sagittarius? What else do you want us to know about trust and faith? Last one, please. Thank you. Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3. Okay, I know exactly what this means. All right, so vigilance. This is about having quiet time. And what I was saying just now about ceremony, when you need to sit down and set an intention or you need to pray. Praying is asking and meditation is listening. And this is about being vigilant. It's about paying attention to what's going on around you. It's about being calm and still. Do you see how quiet and peaceful and calm it is here? It's about having a bit of solitude. The difference between being lonely or being alone and solitude is a choice. You choose to go and sit alone and have some quiet time and meditate or whatever it is that you're going to do. And like I said, praying is asking, meditating is listening. And I feel that you need to be vigilant when working with these kind of energies because they give us signs, they give us synchronicities, they show us things, whether it's through something you overhear somebody else saying, a song, something on the TV, a sticker on somebody's car, repetitive numbers. Look out for these things. Google them if you have to, okay? If you see an animal over and over. It happened to me once that I saw a sticker on a car that said bear. I then saw a bear on the TV. Then I opened a magazine and there was a bear. And this carried on until I finally clicked, hey, I'm seeing a lot of bears. And I went and I looked up the meaning of the bear, the essence of the bear, and that had a very, very strong message for me. So it seems silly, but this is the only way that they can communicate with us. Okay, it's not that you like all, people tease and say, oh well, is the bear now your spirit animal, and they mess around and stuff like that. This is the only way that they can communicate with us. They can't pick up the phone and say, hey John, you're missing the message. Can you please go and sort your life out? They've got to tell us things in roundabout ways because it's coming from a spiritual place. And they give us signs and synchronicities that we need to be vigilant about and look out for. Okay, so watch out for them. Some things are not coincidence, they're messages, and they're trying very, very hard to get them across to you. And they do work relentlessly to do so. They will tell you the same thing over and over. Even if you get a reading, like people get readings with me, they'll get the same card until they do what they've been led to do, or they get the message and they'll say, well, I had that card last time. And I say, well, maybe you haven't listened yet. You can't ignore it. They're not going to go away. They are going to make sure you get the message, and they are trying to lead you on the right track. Don't disregard it. Be vigilant. All right. Passion. I think whatever is going on here as well, with the traveling and all of these kind of things, remember the Sagittarius energy is also very fiery, and I said passion, sexual, all of these kind of things. Maybe you need to take a leap of faith with a relationship that you are apprehensive about, or taking a leap of faith about calling, taking a job, saying yes to something, or you feel like there is something that has a lot of meaning to you that you need to press forward with, but you're a little bit hesitant. This is saying connect with that fire, connect with that passionate, fiery, strong energy that is around us right now, and embrace it. Go for what you want. Pursue your passions. Do things that you love with passion. Love people with passion. No more of this fickle, superficial stuff. This is about doing what connects with your soul, doing what is meaningful for you. And again, you can ask. You can ask to say, let me know if this is in alignment with what I should be doing. Is what I'm passionate about, can I make a living out of this? Or is this person really the person for me? I have these strong feelings, this strong connection with somebody, whatever it is, but do what you do with passion. We cannot live like we've been living listlessly in the past, where nothing really means anything, and we even have a saying that says blah. That's how we feel. We need to snap out of that. That's not living. That's not the meaning of what we're doing here. We're not here to be blah and to meh. That's not what life is about. And yes, we have those days. Believe me, you're not alone. I have those days. This morning started off as one of those days. But we can make a choice on whether we stay there or we don't. And we can also ask for that strength. We can ask for that passion. Help me to connect with this. Help me to feel this when something's right for me. Help me to feel this fiery energy and to be pushed in that direction, so that I know that I'm doing the right thing. Follow your passions and have the trust and the faith that things will work out for you if it's really something you love, whether that's a person, an occupation, whatever it is, something that you need to pursue. Ask for that support. And finally, here I was talking about meditation this whole time, and connecting and listening and receiving, and this is about breath. We need to connect as well, and remember that we are part of this Gaia energy, okay? Let me put this down. We're part of this Gaia energy, and we need to connect. We need to remember that we connect and we're part of all things. When you sit and you breathe, be grateful that the trees are breathing with you and they're providing that oxygen that comes into your body. Little things like that we forget to be grateful for, that we forget to honor. Let's get back to that place where we actually do that and say, wow, thank you for the beautiful things around me. Thank you that I'm listening to maybe birds instead of traffic for a change. If you're going on holiday in December, use this opportunity. If you go to a place that's a forest, use that to connect. Use that to get back to Gaia, to get back to nature, to get back to God, or whatever you believe, to connect with the universe again. All right. And this is reminding me again that we need to meditate, we need to breathe deeply, we need to watch our breathing. And when we are feeling that we're going through something where there is this kind of shape shifting energy, where we're out of our comfort zones, we feel like we agitated, like someone took us like a bottle and just shook us. Okay, when we're feeling that, we need to breathe, we need to connect, we need to be mindful, and we need to say, okay, taking a deep breath, sorting it out, centering myself. I can do this. All right. I have faith in myself that I can do this. I'm okay to be vulnerable. I am powerful. I can get through this. And at the same time, I also wanted to talk about what did I want to talk about? There's one more thing to do with breath. I think I just said it. I wanted to talk about meditation. I wanted to talk about breathing. Breathing is so important, people. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you've got headaches, watch your body language as well. Watch yourself. You can learn so much about your body because your body reacts to what's going on in your subconscious. If you're worried about somebody or you've got a bad feeling about something, you'll find that your breathing is very shallow. You're going, and you can actually control that by saying, okay, be mindful, be in the moment, center yourself, take a deep breath, and just pull yourself towards yourself. That can get you through any situation. You can also maybe give this advice to somebody else who needs it at a time when they need to just calm down and say, okay, just look at me, let's just breathe. Breathe with me. And an excellent breathing practice to hold it for 7 and to breathe out for 8. And do that about 5 times if you can, and you'll feel what a different state of mind you're in after that. Okay, so if you need to calm down, you need to calm someone else down. You breathe in for 4. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's a long breath. It's a hold it for 7 and breathe out for 8. And trust me, you will feel completely centered and like a different person if you can manage to do that. All right. Okay, so I have waffled on for a long time now. I'm going to finish off this evening with giving you some advice from my Spirit Oracle, as I always do. There's lots of cards here, but I just felt like this is enough for the night. Hold on. I'm going to pick 3 cards from the Mermaid Oracle. Mermaids and Dolphins, sorry. I have something to say. Okay. Put you there for a sec. I'm going to pick 3 cards. Let's see what the messages are. What are the messages for us tonight, please, for the full moon in Sagittarius? 1 card at a time. Thank you. Mother healing. Okay, some people are really working on this. I've had a couple of clients recently. As your feelings towards your mother heal, your desires manifest more rapidly and accurately. Remember, mother healing, mother energy is very basically our nurturing and receptive kind of energy. So we feel like the earth is not very giving and not nurturing if we have something that is out of balance with our mothers or mother figures in our lives, maybe even ourselves. So if there's something that needs to be healed here, please work on it and realize that your abundance and the money you have in your life, all of these kind of things are affected by this because they are very fundamental energies. Your mother's not just a person. She's an energy that came into your life to teach you something about being receptive, about being nurturing, about being compassionate. Even if she's not nurturing, compassionate, there's a lesson within that. If anybody feels they need it, I do readings on mother healing and father healing to see what these fundamental energies and lessons are. and how you can work around it and actually start healing from it and sort it out. And I give you action cards around that. So if you need that, please get hold of me. I'm happy to help. Let's see what else comes up. What other messages for this full moon in new moon in Sagittarius? Sorry. Thank you. Healing your heart. Okay, it's showing that you have a healing heart. Maybe you can't tap into this as well. If you can't tap into a healing heart if you're having issues with your mother energy as well. But this is saying that you are a powerful healer. Keep up the good work. Okay, so if, like I was saying earlier, you maybe just need to tell somebody else to breathe, or you just need to listen to somebody. You know, we don't have to be healers and study for years and do crystal therapy and stuff. It's not always about that. Those are beautiful things and they contribute beautifully to the world, but sometimes you just need to listen to somebody. Sometimes you just need to stop and pick someone up who's carrying their groceries in the rain. You know, an act of kindness. This can heal. It can change somebody's life if you stop to listen to that person today or help them to breathe. There are many people who don't even know that they've helped people, they've prevented people from committing suicide just by giving them their ear for the day, or just saying, I understand, or let's sit down and breathe, or can I bring you a glass of water? Okay, so don't think you have to be some big guru to be able to heal and help others. And tap into this. And the more that you give this kind of healing, positive, loving energy, the more it comes back to you. Okay, I feel like this is talking about healing heart as in relationships as well. There's a lot of healing going on right now. And a lot of necessary stuff where people are leaving toxic relationships and all of this kind of thing. So this is an indication as well. It's a statement to say there's a lot of heart healing going on. Okay, the last one, please, for the new moon in Sagittarius. Last card, please. What's tonight? Time to move on. Okay, it's time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. This is exactly what I was saying earlier. About the travel, about the vulnerability, about the power. If this is getting you out of your comfort zone because something has suddenly happened, this is what it's saying to you. It's time to let go of the old and the worn out, that stagnation that I was talking about, that is disguised because it's a comfort zone. Step out of it. Get rid of it. It no longer serves you. Okay? It's time to let go of the old and the worn out so that the new can come in. Tonight is the perfect time. You know, new moon is for letting go of old stuff. Write it down and burn that piece of paper and say, nice knowing you. Today we move forward. All right. Let me show you that card nicely because it's a really beautiful one. Do symbolic things, people at work. Use visualization. Go for a swim and say, I'm going to dive in one end of this pool, and when I dive out the other end, I've let go of all of that stuff. Whatever works for you. Go for it, embrace it, and do what you need to do. Okay. I'm going to do a spirit oracle for you guys, but I think I'm only going to pick one tonight. And then we are done. Make a nice pile over here. Okay, Spirit Oracle, can we have one important message for us this evening, please? One important message to go away with. That wasn't a really good one. See, this is why people don't shuffle live. One last one. Okay, one last parting message before we're done for the night, please. What is your most important message for us tonight for the month ahead? Most important message for the month ahead, please. Oh, we've got two. Okay, we'll read guidance first. And guidance says, release the past to the eternal winds and allow new energies to enter your life. You are a creation that is vast and endless with no beginning and no end. Allow your life to flow like a river, for the spirit of love will guide you and keep you safe. I'm not making it up. Okay, where's our card we just had? Time to move on. Release the past to the eternal winds and now allow new energies to enter your life. Okay, this is being reiterated. And finally, the journey. How interesting that we get travel as well. The journey. You are soaring to new heights. Experiment. Play. Allow your spirit the freedom to explore new and exciting possibilities for your life. Follow the rainbow across the horizon. A pot of gold awaits. Wow, guys, this is about the vulnerability. This is about the traveling, okay? And that you are being nurtured, and don't worry about it. Have faith. That's really beautiful. You are soaring to new heights. Experiment, play. Allow your spirit the freedom to explore new and exciting possibilities for your life. Follow the rainbow across the horizon. A pot of gold awaits. I have to show you guys, just so you know I'm not making this stuff up. Okay? Experiment, play. Have this kind of vulnerability. Run across the field. Run across the meadow. Have some fun. Connect with nature. Remember who you are. If you are leaving or traveling in whatever way, shape, or form this manifests into your life, I wish you everything of the best. Don't be afraid. All right? Know that you're being looked after. Don't forget to follow the signs. Have that trust and that faith. Be vigilant about watching out for the signs that you get. And work on health and healing, inwardly and outwardly as well. All right. That is it, ladies and gents. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful new moon. I will be doing my energy session that I do for free for people who are unemployed once a month. That will be happening this evening, probably during or after you seeing this reading. But I wish you all much love and a beautiful month ahead. I will see you again at new moon for a full reading like this again. Full moon. You know, I really need to get with it. I'll see you at full moon again for a reading like this. Otherwise, you can catch me on Instagram. Unless I have a bad week like I did this week, I always do a reading on IGTV on a Monday. That is for the week ahead. Otherwise, I sometimes do little posts with readings in between, but keep an eye out, please. And I do also post them on YouTube if I do an IGTV. So, if you want to get hold of me, if you'd like to book a private reading or you have any other questions, please get hold of me. You can get hold of me on Instagram. It's all at AeroAces. Or you can go to www.aeroaces.com and there are testimonials there. There's also a facility for you to book or to contact me. All right. I'm sending you much love. Have a beautiful new moon and a week ahead. Lots of love. Bye.